The one-year survival calendar is exactly like it sounds. A one-year, step-by-step guide to reach the goal of being self-sufficient enough to survive any disaster for up to a year or more. What such recent natural events as Hurricanes Katrina and Sandy have taught us is that a disaster could strike at any time, and that if one did, you are going to have to survive it on your own, for at least a couple of days at best, and maybe even months before things return to normal. The only thing average citizens can do to improve their odds of surviving a disaster is to make a plan to get some skills and training and gather some supplies and equipment. The one-year survival calendar is a simple and convenient way to follow such a plan. Here's a quick rundown of what's in the calendar. In planning this calendar, the first thing I did was I wanted to define a way to determine just how prepared are you. I extrapolated from the survivalist's rule of three. That states you can survive 3 minutes without air, 3 hours without shelter, 3 days without water, and 3 weeks without food. I just made the extension following the same multiple of 3. So level 1 survival means that you've got the knowledge of what to do and enough supplies to survive a disaster for 3 days. Level 2 for 3 weeks. Level 3 for 3 months. And level 4 for 1 year or more. Then I compiled lists of all the skills and knowledge one would need in an emergency and arranged them according to the time needed to survive without outside assistance. For example, at level 1, you should have passed a first aid course, which will get you through a 3-day disaster. But at level 4, you should have knowledge of medicinal plants and homemade treatments. Then I compiled lists of all the equipment and supplies you would need to survive through the 4 levels of preparedness. So for level 1, we have flashlights and 3 days' worth of food. But on level 4, we would need wind and solar power and a year's supply of food and water. Next, I spread these skills and supplies out over a year period and started with the easiest and least expensive skills and supplies, and graduated to 1 year or self-sufficiency, depending on your needs and efforts. So I calculated you could easily attain level 1 preparedness in 2 months. Level 2 could be reached in another 2 months after that. Level 3 would add to the previous supplies and could be reached in another 4 months. And finally, level 4 in the final 5 months of the year. Does the calendar cover every skill you could possibly need? No, there are dozens of skills one could learn that would help in any disaster. But if you have at least a passing knowledge of the skills listed on the calendar, then you'll be pretty far ahead of the curve and you'll be all right. Same goes for the supplies. Would I like a portable hospital and perhaps an armored personnel carrier? You betcha. But the supplies and equipment listed on the calendar will ensure that you will be pretty comfortable compared to most everyone else. So that's the calendar. For all you longtime survivalists, this stuff is old hat. But get one for that friend or family member that is sitting on the fence about the whole preparedness topic. When they see how easy it is to reach level 1 or 2 preparedness, they won't have an excuse not to. The more people that are prepared, the better off we all are. And the best part is, when you order this calendar, you can start it on any month of the year. If you're not ready to start your 1-year survival plan in January, then order the calendar to start to February, or March, or April, or May. It will run a full 12 months until you reach level 4 preparedness. So, thanks for watching, and stay safe.